Hey there, my name is Rob DeBoer, and I want to welcome you to what I think is the biggest conversation in the nutrition industry over the next decade. And just want to welcome you and thank you for being a little bit open-minded. You should be cautiously optimistic, be skeptical. I certainly was. My background is in health, fitness, nutrition, two-sport college athlete, dabbled in a little professional sports, but went on to train kids, college athletes, NFL athletes, and everyone in between. And I've been part of this ketone conversation for the last several years. In fact, I pride myself on being a research junkie. And so if you're watching this, you've obviously got some questions. And I'll be honest, it's a confusing conversation. One of the biggest obstacles is helping people understand the difference between some of the terminology. This isn't a high-fat, low-carb requirement. A lot of people associate ketogenic, ketosis, ketones with lots of fat, low protein, low carb, and it's not that at all. In fact, that's where I think we've carved out a little niche, helping people how to use this as a tool. And my two biggest things are reality and lifestyle. I can put the plan together that works. But if it's not something that can help create an energy deficit or surplus, depending on if you want to gain muscle or lose fat, over the course of time that you can sustain, then we shouldn't even waste our time trying to start. And that's the frustrating part with diets. So I want you to just imagine if there were one product that touched the entire demographics, from a 2-year-old with autism to an 82-year-old like my father that passed away of Alzheimer's. College football player the way I was, NFL linebacker, stay-at-home mom that she's tried every diet in the book and is just frustrated and at wit's end and wants something to work. And I think the biggest thing is wondering, well, if I try this, will it work? And that's what I can promise you. Ketones deliver a caloric energy value no different than protein, carbs, and fat. Those are called macronutrients. Micronutrients are vitamins and minerals, and we don't get energy from those. They help support the body, but try living on micronutrients, you don't last very long. So we need to get protein, carbs, fat from food. That's the human energy source. And then based on over the course of time, if we want to lose fat, we need to create what's called an energy deficit. So food coming in versus the energy out. And when I say energy out, that's maybe you at the gym, or it's you walking your dog, waving to your neighbor, eating protein instead of carbs. There's a thermic effect of food. Processing protein requires more energy out than, say, carbs or fat. And so it's my job to help make that make sense to you. And I think we've done a really good job. So you're going to have more questions. The purpose of this video is to hopefully pique your interest a bit more. Maybe listen to what this crazy guy has to say. You've not probably heard this before because it didn't exist. You couldn't drink ketones prior to about 3 years ago. And I'm biased on a brand, but at the same time, I don't really care where you get your ketones as long as you understand how they work. And that's the goal. So get back with whoever shared this with you. If you're wanting to help a high school athlete gain weight, if you're wanting to gain weight, make sure it's muscle weight and not body fat. Or maybe just the opposite. You want to keep your muscle, but you want to lose fat. Maybe you're just frustrated from trying every diet and, gosh, you would just like to feel better. We can make that happen. We can prove how that happens. And so I think probably the most reassuring thing I could give you is you're not going to have to wonder. You commit to this for 30, 60, 90 days, and it's not going to feel like you're on a diet, eating rice cakes, tree bark, and drinking water to make things work. No, our goal is to help it fit within a realistic time frame based on who you are, where you're at, but also make sure it fits in your lifestyle so it's something you can sustain. So once we figure out what I call your metabolic code, what works for you, then we get there and stay there. Little tweaks here and there, But that's the problem, is so many people are confused. They don't know what to do, and a confused mind, I've found, always says no, and we just give up. So again, if it's someone you're wanting to help gain weight, lose weight, feel better, help your mom or dad that's got Alzheimer's, help your neighbor that's got an autistic child, we can't make claims. All we can do is point you to the research of what ketones have shown to do, but more importantly, show how they apply to you. And that's what I would encourage you to take the next step. Jump on a call with me. Whoever shared this with you is just trying to make a informal introduction, and I would look forward to talking to you, answering your questions, encourage you to be skeptical. There's probably not a person on the planet that was more skeptical than I was. I don't believe anything. I was just kind of raised that way. And so thanks so much for your time. Really, really appreciate it. Take this seriously. There's nothing else like it, and I don't believe there's anybody better that understands it than myself and those that are willing to help. Okay? Thanks so much. Take care.